Have you ever received criticism that felt like someone slapped you in the face? Yeah, me too. Like that time my dissertation advisor told me my research was unfocused and meandering. Ouch, right? Whether it's your boss saying your work needs improvement, your partner mentioning you never listen, or your friend telling you that you're being annoying, I get it. Criticism can sting. It can make us want to crawl under the covers with a bag of chips and hide from the world. But what if I told you that I could help you transform how you respond to criticism, that you could actually use it as fuel for growth and connection? Stay tuned and I'll explain to you how you can extract the gold and leave the dirt behind. Okay, first things first. When criticism comes your way, don't react immediately. I know, easier said than done, right? Our instinct is to either fight back or completely shut down. But trust me on this one, the most powerful thing you can do in that moment is nothing. Take a deep breath, count to 5, sip your coffee, whatever you need to do to create space between their words and your response. Remember, the space between their words and your response is where your power lies. Because in that space, you can choose courage over comfort, you can choose curiosity over judgment, you can choose connection over disconnection. Here's the thing, sometimes criticism is just someone trying to communicate something important to them. So instead of just receiving criticism silently, engage it on the spot. Try to understand the criticism by asking questions like, could you give me a specific example, or maybe can you go a little deeper to help me really understand what you mean? You could even ask, what impact has this had on you personally? This does two things. It shows you're listening, which is important, and it helps you really understand the criticism, which is even more important. Plus, sometimes when people have to explain their criticism in detail, they realize it was more petty than they first thought. I call this the, oh, never mind effect. It's a real thing. Now here comes the hard part. Most criticism has at least a nugget of truth. Just because everything they say isn't true doesn't mean that none of it is. And let's be honest, sometimes the truth hurts. But here's the thing about truth. It sets us free. So, ask yourself 3 questions. Is there anything accurate in this feedback? What could I learn from this person's point of view? And is this a blind spot I've been unaware of? A friend once told me that I always make everything about myself in conversations. My first instinct was to defend myself, but when I got quiet and thought about it, I realized I had a habit of responding to others' stories with similar experiences. I thought I was relating, but I was actually redirecting attention to myself. That painful truth helped me become a better listener and a better friend. This is where the rubber meets the road, my friends. Even if you disagree with 90% of the criticism, thank the person for caring enough to share their perspective. Because it does take courage to speak up, even when it's hard. You might say something like, I appreciate you sharing that with me, I'm gonna think about it, or thank you for bringing this to my attention. You could even say, I value your perspective, even when it's challenging to hear. And yes, I know this can feel like thanking someone for punching you in the face, but gratitude shifts the dynamic from confrontation to conversation. It really helps to preserve relationships, and that's what it's all about, right? Connection. Now here's the thing about criticism, not all of it requires action. Yep, you heard me right. After you've had some time to think about it, decide what changes, if any, you want to make based on the conversation. Remember, you don't have to change after every piece of criticism you receive. In fact, sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is stand firm in your beliefs, even when others don't agree. The main thing is to never forget that you are responsible for your own life. Find the truth, live in it, and let the rest of the noise go. Great job listening until the end. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and share your stories about criticism in the comments to help us learn together. You know, vulnerability is not weakness, it's our greatest measure of courage. And showing up and being seen even when we're afraid of criticism, that's what makes us brave.